Our topic today is the serial killer who terrified Russia. Bring a cup of tea or your favorite drink and let's get started. In 2002, murders of a group of elderly women began in a province of Russia. The police continued to find the victims in their homes shattered with their heads using an axe or hammer, sometimes with traces of a fire that the killer tried to fabricate in order for the incident to look normal. And there were traces of theft and tampering with the contents of the house. That is the goal of the murder, is theft. Police continued to search for the killer with no evidence or fingerprints until 2010, when one of the victims managed to escape, who told the police that the attacker who tried to kill her was a woman. The police did not believe it. For 8 years, the investigators were looking for a man's butcher, and it never occurred to them that it could be a woman, due to the nature of violent crimes that women rarely commit. The police asked the victim more, and they told her, "Maybe you are wrong. Maybe it was a man wearing a skirt and women's clothes to hide his true identity." But the witness insisted that the attacker was a woman, and said that she introduced herself as one of the workers in the social services and came to help her. And as soon as she entered the house and was assured that she was alone, she attacked her with an axe. The police investigated 3,000 suspected women until they were finally able to reach the killer through a witness who saw her leaving the house of the last of her victims. The name of the killer was Irina Viktorovna, 41 years old. She was the wife and mother of 2 children. When she was arrested, her husband Yuri said they had been married for 14 years, that his wife did not look abnormal, and that he did not suspect for a moment that she could be his killer. Her daughter's teacher in Styria also said that Irina often helped her daughter at school parties and was a normal mother. Irina was born in 1972 in one of the states of the former Soviet Union. Her main problem is that she became addicted to alcohol at a very young age, until she met her husband Yuri, who tried with her a lot to quit alcoholism, especially vodka, and became forbidden from her any money so as not to buy more alcohol. And because she did not have money, Irina decided to obtain money in any way in order to buy alcohol, and she was clothed with demonic ideas, so she decided to kill the elderly, as their resistance is weak, and they live alone and have pension money. Irina began to develop her plan and attacked the first of his victims in 2002, where she went to an area far from her place of residence and studied her well for several days and chose her victim carefully and knocked on her door claiming that she was a social worker and came to discuss her condition and help her. As soon as she entered, she took the hammer and killed her, then stole her money, and then went to the kitchen and lit the stove to hide the features of the crime to look like an accident. Irina then went to a bar and filled her stomach with vodka. Irina continued like this. Whenever she ran out of money, she killed one of the old women. The strange thing is that when she never found large sums, one of the old women only had $20 and the maximum amount she could get was $1,000. When she was arrested, she said, "I would have liked to be a normal mother, but I couldn't get rid of my love for vodka." The verdict was shocking to the families of the victims, as Irina was sentenced to only 20 years compared to 17 victims, equivalent to 1.25 years for each victim only. The judge's response was that he took into account her humanitarian condition as a mother of unfortunately. This is the maximum punishment for women in Russia. Russia's worst woman serial killer dubbed Satan in a skirt after murdering 17 pensioners in 8-year reign of terror. Drinking alcohol leads to many physical and mental problems for the drinker because of its impact on the nervous system. So we can imagine the magnitude of the harms of alcoholism when the rate of its intake increases to this degree, and how the harms of alcoholism may be exacerbated to the point of developing a psychotic disorder or even pushing him to commit suicide. Other than the harms of alcoholism on the social life of the individual, there are those who explain the addiction of Russians to vodka because of the bitter cold of the country, as vodka makes one feel warm, while others believe that the reason is the government's monopoly on the vodka drink trade, and thus it benefits from promoting it and encouraging its use. Real pictures of the criminal. The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.